How are we going, everyone? Going for a little walk around the native area of our garden here. I've been doing some planting. I showed you that a few episodes ago, some grevilleas, wistringias and the like, callistemons, and I've come down this path. I don't think I've ever taken you for a walk down here. This is another little secluded area. We've got a bit of winter grass coming on here. We've got our native trees here. We've got our silver princes, we've got our wattles growing, we've got our tufted grass over there, tanicas, all sorts of things, more grevilleas. And what you're looking at right here, and I've been eyeing this off for the last couple of weeks to get onto it, that is, to get on and fix it, as if I haven't got enough on my plate, is this beautiful silver princess. And I think I've got about 10 or 20 trees, silver princess. This happened to be the most active one, the better looking one out of the lot, and I think I cursed it just by saying to myself, oh, that looks so fantastic. I've got the white silver bark on it. See the whiteness on it there? That's a silver in colour. That's where it gets its name from, with these beautiful flowers that are just coming into season now. And this should be up there somewhere in the sky, but rather than that, it's decided to snap. We get howling winds through here, and if it's 40 or 50 k's in Melbourne, out here it'd be at least 70. It would reach up to at least 70. And right between these two Italian stonebark pines, these are a couple of hundred years old, it comes right through here, comes right through there. There's a big opening there, and it hits this tree. Now it's leaning over in that direction because that's where the wind comes from. And unfortunately, when the stake was put in many moons ago, obviously these were little twigs, and it's serving no purpose now, so we're going to cut this off and stake it up. So let's get onto it. It's already snapped on top, and when you're cutting any branch, whether you're using a handsaw like this or a chainsaw, always do an undercut first, and that's just to stop it from tearing. I mean, there's enough damage here already, but you always do an undercut, and then when you go back over the top, you can cut it through, because as you start to open it up, ignore this because it's already broken. Imagine it was sitting up there and I started cutting it. That would, with the weight, fall over quickly and possibly tear it. There's already enough damage here, so we're not going to worry about that. I'm going to cut it the opposite direction now, away from the center, meaning on the angle, on this angle. Actually, wait, before I do that, it's leaning on it as I'm doing the cut. Yep, that's out of the way. What a pity, huh? All right, we're going to stake this up. Look at this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that one there, 5. This is going to end up taking over again on its own. We've got too many, so we're going to remove some of these. And obviously I'm going to remove the weaker ones, the smaller ones. There we are. Don't need that. Just going to get up here and see if I can deal with this a bit better. Look at this up here. Wait a second. It's growing right through. Are you kidding me? And then we've got this one here. What a bloody mess. I'm going to try and keep all of them. I can't tell from up here whether I keep 1 or 2, or if I just bring them together like this. That's ugly. It goes against my whole motto of pruning. Prune to shape, and I'm not doing that here, am I? I mean, the silver princess tree, as many of you who already have them in your garden, really don't grow straight. And they don't grow thick at all. They're really spindly. They can grow upright, but they'll always have very few branches, leaders coming out of them. They'll just be like this here, maybe 1 or 2 forks out of it. Now, I come over here and do that. That looks fantastic, but it looks like a mess down here. That's the problem with it. Look at that. What a mess. And all these are suckering up from the bottom continuously. I'm just getting tired of that. I'm going to clean all this off, clean that up. Take some of these dead wood off here as well. I may, one second, if I sacrifice, watch yourself, there. Do that. Really? Well, there you go. I may just cut this one off after all. Well, folks, my decision's been made by the plant gods. I'm going to cut off every branch here, maybe not this one behind me, and this one there. This one's coming up. All right, I'm just going to cut this down to about this point here. Yeah, keep snapping. That's what you do best. All right, so I've taken that off. All I'm going to do now is take off all the dead, disease, damaged wood like this stuff here, clean it up, and then we're going to stake it up. Now, being a native tree, folks, it doesn't like heavy fertilising. It doesn't, slightly acidic soil, it doesn't like phosphate. Blackroot's got phosphate in it. That's a natural form phosphate, so you can use it lightly on it. It does need good drainage, and it doesn't like excessive moisture, holding water that is. So you get all these leaf spots on it, and that's because of the lack of airflow in this area. And that sounds ironic because I just said we get high winds through here, but I'm talking about airflow through the plant. You can see all the trees behind it. That's really sort of smothering it, and this was actually growing inside there, so we need this to breathe better, and we do need to feed it well. So the soil may be a little bit alkaline. I'm not sure. I'll do a test with my 4-in-1 later on, but for now what we need to do is stake it up. And what I'm doing is star pickets. This is a raised garden bed. I think we're about 800 or 900 above ground level, so it's going to be a little bit unstable, this star picket. So I'm going to drive it in even further. But I need to get it to this fork level. I can't go too much lower than that. So I can stake it on this side, but I also need to put one on that side and pull it tight, because look where it's leaning that way. It's probably a third one in this position as well. Now, I didn't prepare myself properly because I haven't got the hessian, and in this case here, the best way to tie this up is with hessian ties, which are about 50 mil or 2 inches in diameter. I've got some hessian bags that I may strip down later on from my old potato sacks and use that, but what I'm going to use now is 5 or 6 loops of the jolly tie, the soft tie, which is not going to last. So don't think you can kid yourself by just using the black tie, which is what I'm doing now, and I shouldn't be, but I didn't prepare myself. I'm just going to use this stuff here. 5-6 layers of it to turn it into a rope-like sort of strand, and wrap it around on both sides and pull it in all directions and see if I can straighten it up. So sit back and watch the fun. Now, if you remember last time I did staking up with your little olive trees, I only used the bamboo sticks. Still put them on an angle. This one in particular, I've got it on an angle because it's going to be pulling in that direction, and what will happen is it will pull it in, because I just did that now and I can feel how loose that is. I've got to get that down really deep, so that's going to be the anchoring point, and hopefully we got enough grip in the soil to stop it from moving backwards or lifting out of the ground. But if I can slam it down with one hand, it tells you it's really soft. Not all my secateurs are clean, folks, and the ones that aren't I use for cutting string. I've lifted this up around 4 times to give you some strength. Now, I don't want it to slide down, but I need it to pull back. Yep. I'm just going to do this once around it, so as I pull it, it tensions it and doesn't slide. See, I've looped it around once, and it's got more grip like that. Otherwise, if I just had it once like this, it can slide down. See that sliding down? So loop it around. Don't tie it, just loop it around. Keep it all nice and together, and that way we've got some control. Now, better put a little bit of elbow grease in this. And that's going to wobble everywhere. So now we're going to tie it left and right, and hopefully that'll stabilise it. They never grow straight, these trees. I've seen them everywhere, and everywhere I've seen them, they just look just deformed, twisted and turned. Yeah, some people call it graceful, I call it weird. But anyway, that's the habit of the tree. Just going to tie it loosely on this side because I'm going to be pulling it in the other direction and tensioning it from there. Okay, we've done the 3 knots. A lot more stable, see that? Now, the only problem I have with this is it's leaning over that direction. I've actually got to, I'm not going to do it now. Hey Carl, what do you reckon, we should do it? I need to tie it from here and anchor it down into the ground over there. What do you reckon? Let's do it, huh? All right, you go that way, I'll go this way. placed the stake here on a more of an angle than usual because I need to actually tie it down up from the sky, so from high above on the tree down to this point here, and hopefully I can leverage the tree over in this direction, and as it matures it holds this shape, which I highly doubt will happen, but anyway, we can only give it a go. And always measure your string before you cut it, because obviously I didn't do that, did I? Okay, that's it there. Let's have a look. I can't see anything from up here. Is it better? And this one needs to go here. All right, bit more string for that one there, we're done. There you go, folks. Not the best looking plant at the end of the day because it was really out of shape to start with. Too many uprights. I haven't decided which ones I'm going to cut off because it's a bit too late in the day and I'm not enjoying it at the moment. I'm not feeling it, you know what I mean? I'm not feeling it. So I'm going to come back in the morning sun and check this out properly. You're watching this in the morning or whatever time you're watching it. I've just done this in the afternoon now. I need to see some more light in here and get a better understanding whether I want to keep any of these little stumps, take this little one here out, or even take one of the larger ones up there out, because they're all twisted and turned. But let's just see how the tree responds to the prune. If you're going to stake up a tree, obviously get onto it straight away. This is what happens to your trees if you don't do it early enough, because they get top heavy, wind comes along and they become very unstable and they snap. And always look at this, multiple stakes. One stake alone on the one side will serve no purpose at all. It will do nothing for the tree. It'll just cause more damage to it. Minimum 2 stakes, if not 3 or 4 if you can. And I haven't gone high enough with the stakes because they're obviously driven down at least 1/3 to half of it into the ground because it's so unstable. I need longer stakes. You need to have it at least half the height of the tree. Now this is a really tall tree, so I've anchored it down on one side. That's going to give me a bit more stability. Ultimately, the bigger the stake, the better the tree, and obviously the ties as well got to be super strong and got to last. So I've got this multiple tying going on with a soft tie. Hessian tie is really good, but you need to clean up the tree first before you get into that environment when tying it up, so you don't have too many ties going on everywhere as I have at the moment. Anyway, look after your trees. Check out our website, Vasili'sGarden.com. Our specials are running through. Our heat mats and thermostats are fully back in stock for the mini hothouses. The 3-in-1 garden frames are flying off the shelf, and some more citrus gall wasp traps have just arrived. So folks, get onto it, because you know what happens to your citrus trees if you don't protect them. We'll do another little segment on citrus gall wasp, a little bit more detailed on the insect and the damage it causes, and some great tips on how to control it, and obviously the citrus gall wasp trap. Check it all out, Vasili'sGarden.com, up to 70% off everything online. From me, Vasili, Maresi.